and got on the phone. What's up, Jacqueline? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? All right. No wins this week?
Hi, David.
Hey,
Morning.
Nandini, tell me about a win. You got any wins?
My win was getting in front of a FISBO. I have never done a FISBO call, and so the follow through landed me a meeting with them. A listening presentation. Well, didn't get it, but the win was at least overcoming that hesitation.
You didn't get it yet.
I actually somebody else got that listing. Somebody else I think offered lesser commission or whatever. Uh, but I thought it was a good first time experience.
Okay. Well, if I can offer up a suggestion, Nandini, to
Yeah.
you and everybody else on this call, if you're going after a listing and you're looking to pursue it and you didn't get it for whatever reason, put that person on the watch list, because a lot of times they still come up, they end up expiring, they don't sell. And if you have that on your watch list and you're being really smart about your strategy, for me, what I would do is they would go on my watch list. And so I automatically knew on my MLS, it tells me when properties are going to expire. When it was like a week or two away from expiring, I would go do a agent preview, make sure I left my car there. And the day that it expired, I would call back, and I already had that person on my phone. I already had that relationship with them. I already knew what their motivation was in the past. And it just gave me an opportunity to say, I've been plugged in, saw your house was on when it was on the market. Let's have a conversation about what needs to happen to get your property sold. So put those people on the watch list and follow up with them.
Okay.
V,
Thank you for the suggestion.
you're welcome. V, what's going on?
Happy Friday, all. I have two closing this month. It's the first month I have two closings, so that's pretty exciting.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That is a huge win. And V, you know me. So before we get started, I just have to ask you a question. How are you going to celebrate having double closings? What are you doing to celebrate that?
I'm thinking of doing a spa day.
Can I say something, V?
Yes.
Don't think about it. After this call, get on the phone and book it. Get that on your calendar. You deserve it. Go for it. That's awesome. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing that today. All right, you guys ready to get into it? What's up with all these people with the cameras off? I don't know if you guys knew this. What's up?
Oh, hi. I have a win that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, what's going on, please?
So this is Charlotte Winston.
Hey.
It was really nice coming to the Speakeasy. So I was really motivated. And just by coming to these calls, it really helped me able to have the confidence to pick up the phone, starting to get used to objections. And after that, after I left that meeting, I was so like inspired. I went home, got on the phone. I called like 10 people, and I was able, out of those 10 people, I didn't get like anybody to say, okay, I want to list, but I did get a meeting, and it happened to be a house right in my town. It turned out to only be a meeting for a listing for a house rental, but I feel like I overcame something, and for this day forward, I got the listing for the house, and she also said she wanted to sell in maybe a year. So, but I also feel like she's very like on the side of, I don't know if I want to list because I don't know if I want to rent or sell because I'm kind of old right now. But I've got the relationship, and she also said she had other properties that she wanted me to help her with. So thank you guys, and I'm like so excited to stay with this group and learn more and learn from everyone's experience and all the advice that I'm learning here. So
I think that's really exciting, and I'm sure a smile was on my face. I'm sure Jolie was smiling as well to hear that you came to Speakeasy and you were able to like say, you know what, I just got to go do. Like you implement it and picked up the phone, and look, you created an opportunity that can be a long relationship. That's what it's all about. It's not about just the one deal. Who cares if it's just a rental listing? I think too many times we get caught up, oh, it's just a rental. Guess what that turns into? They eventually want to sell that rental. They have other properties that they may want to sell. They know other people. And so I love your attitude about going after it. And congratulations. You deserve all that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sure.
And I've only had buyers, so I'm really trying to get into the listing side. So thank you so much.
Well, let me say this, and we're going to get into it. We're going to start off. I want to hear your script for your sphere of influence. So if anybody has a good script that they use when they call their sphere of influence, I want you to raise your hand, because I want to have you tell me about that script and go through that script. Let me just say this. I am so tired of hearing about this NAR settlement. I've heard about it from the left and from the right, from the north and from the south. Like, I've heard so much about it, and people have varying degrees, and opinions around this lawsuit. But here's the one thing that everybody agrees on, that moving forward, if you really want to have a great thriving business, you need to be listing focused. That's what I hear from everybody. And the other thing I keep hearing is it's a skills-based business, and your skills are really going to be important now, even working with buyers, because now if they have to pay your commission, they're going to be saying, well, why should I work with you? And you not only have to know your value, you have to have your skill set. You have to have your scripts down so that you know how to master that buyer representation form and get them to sign it. And more importantly, when you're working with sellers, you can meet with them and get them to sign the paperwork. So it's all about skills, and the skills that we need to work on is what we're doing today, our words, what we say, how we say it, knowing exactly what to say, right? That's what we need to work on. So I'm happy that you guys are here. Who has the sphere of influence script when they call someone? I am your sphere of influence. I'm David. I'm somebody you know. I want you to unmute, and I want you to go through your sphere of influence script with me. How do you call the people in your database that you have a relationship with? If you're looking for an opportunity, you want to ask for business. It's not a check-in. Hey, how are you today? It's a check-in. Hey, I need your help. I need some referrals. What is that script that you use? And Ashley, I'm going to get, or I don't, Pete, I'm guessing this is Pete. Pete, I'm going to get started with you. What's going on, Pete?
What's up? Sorry, just finishing a workout. Can you hear me okay?
I can. I just finished mine. It's a good way to start the day, brother. That's for sure.
All right, ring, ring.
Hello?
David, what's going on, man? It's Pete Kopech. How are you?
I'm doing good, Pete. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm actually calling you as a realtor right now. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? So real quick, I'm just calling because I have a goal to help 26 people, Ashley and I, help them buy, sell, or invest in real estate this year. I just wanted to give you a quick call and just say, see if maybe who's looking to maybe make a move this year.
Man, Pete, I wish you would have called me like 2 weeks ago. One of my
I don't like
neighbors.
being late. I'm running it close.
Hold on one second. All right, sorry. So I wish you would have called me 2 weeks ago. One of my neighbors just put their house on the market. Now you're 2 weeks too late, man.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, so you got your neighbor who put it up 2 weeks ago. Do you know they're already on the market? They're already sold.
Yeah, they're on the market with an agent already.
Okay, got you. Can you maybe think of anybody else, maybe like a coworker, another neighbor, maybe a relative or something like that?
I mean, my neighbor actually right next door, I know they had a big yard sale this past weekend. They were talking about moving, but I don't know how soon that's going to happen. I can put you in touch if you like.
Yeah, honestly, David, I mean, so much of our business is based on referrals. That would mean the world to us. Do you know which neighbor that was?
Yeah, it's Mary, just number 3 right next door to me.
Awesome. Mary, number 3. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind connecting us. Also, would it be okay if I just maybe sent her like a note in the mail or maybe stop by and just let them know that we spoke?
I mean, sure. Listen, I'll text her and I'll do a text chain and introduce you guys. And then from there, you can take it from there.
Dave, that would be incredible. I can't thank you enough. And, it doesn't matter if we can help them or not. Maybe they already have somebody, but honestly, just the introduction means so much, means so much to us. So we would really appreciate that.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, listen, while I got you, I mean, how's Michelle? How's everything at home? How are things going?
Hey, man, I appreciate you asking. Things are crazy. Taylor, my oldest is going to college. She just made her choice last night on where she's going. So it's exciting times around here, man. Appreciate it.
Dude, I remember when we were first looking at the house, she was like going into, I think it was middle school. So congratulations, man. You must be so proud.
I am, man. Time flies, as you know.
That's awesome. Well, listen, man, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. Keep an eye out because we got the client event coming up in June. So we would definitely love to see you and the whole family there. And I'll follow up then when we kind of got like the dates and details figured out. But before I let you go, I mean, is there anything I can do for you in the real estate world or home ownership, vendors, anything like that?
No, I think we're good. Like, we have no plans on moving anytime soon. We'll be here indefinitely. So we're good.
Awesome, Dave. So listen, I look forward to that connection with Mary. And if you need anything at any time, man, you can always reach out.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Y'all like my little fake Amazon phone here. Pete, I love that script, man. And let me ask you this. I noticed in the beginning, you didn't make it about me. Like, David, are you looking to sell? Why did you choose to go that route? And I think that's the way to go. But just for everyone on here, why did you choose to go that way?
I don't know. I guess no real particular reason. I think it makes it less defensive, I guess. Same thing with like circle prospecting, right? I've had a lot of success, even circle prospecting and always make that second call when like you call and you introduce yourself and they hang up, like dial them right back. I had a call this week, I think it was, where I called and I was like, hey, real quick before you hang up, I'm not calling to ask you to sell your home. And that kept them on the phone. And we actually ended up having a good conversation. I forget the direct result, but I remember hanging up and like fist bumping and being like, that's why you make that second dial. But yeah, I think when it comes to the sphere, it's important to lead with business first. I think we make the mistake a lot of times. Hey, how's it going? Cool. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then we ask for business and then we get to the sale, which I think has a similar effect as the word but, because when you go and you pretend, even if you do care about them, that's how it's perceived, that you pretended to care about me for 10 minutes just so that you could ask me if I was looking to buy or sell a home. Yeah. So if we put that up front and we say, hey, I'm kind of calling as a realtor right now, just want to let you know, we got this going on. This is our goal. And then go into it. It makes it, I feel, more genuine. It's something I picked up along the way.
Pete, you said everything I wanted you to say, and I hope you guys paid attention to what Pete said. If I needed to sell my home, I would have told him, hey, me, yeah. Right? So it's a way where he can get in there and start a conversation with me, and he's making it about business. And I love that you tied in your goal. I have a goal of helping, I think you said 26 families this year. And I want to know, who do you know? I think that's the right way to do it. If I could give you one piece of feedback, and it's something that I heard on a podcast I was listening to at the end when you were asking me about my real estate needs, and I said, no, I'm good. I could live here forever. One thing I think we should start asking is, have you ever thought about building wealth through investing?
Yeah.
Right. And bring that up and see if there might be an opportunity where maybe I want to buy some investment property. Right. Because now I am looking personally to invest. So it would be another question that you can throw out there that could create an opportunity for you.
And a simple one-liner for that is, hey, before I let you go, I'm coming across properties every day. If I came across an investment property that was like a great deal, is that something you would want to know about?
Love that.
That's it.
Love that. That's it right there. So add that little piece, man, and that would have been a perfect call. Love it, man.
Hey, David, one thing that I learned in that area about the investment side is, even though I hate using the word, take a snapshot from Zillow about what someone's estimate is, and knowing, what maybe they've bought their house at if you sold them the house, and just say, wow, isn't it crazy? Look at the valuation of your property on what it's perceived in the market. If you're holding this much equity in your home, this could be a good way for you to start to build wealth and investment in real estate, because look at the valuation in your property, and it's kind of a tag in to be able to, one way we learned, Francesca and I, to contact your sphere and to say, hey, we sold you a house 7 years ago. Look at the value of the property now today. Look at how much you've appreciated. What could you do with that wealth to continue to invest in real estate?
I love that. I love that. And the person I was listening to on the podcast, they had a monthly investment seminar set up on Zoom. So when they were making their prospecting calls, anybody they talked to who had an interest in investment property, they would just sign them up for that webinar that they were doing. So it was just another point of contact. Thank you, Lou. Matt, did you have a different type of script you wanted to cover for SOI? I'd like to do one more. Do you have one more?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. David?
Hey, what's up?
Come on, I know you hear me, David.
Yeah, can you hear me? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, listen, real quick. I know I hate to bushwhack you, but it is a business related question, okay?
Okay.
You got a minute for me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wonderful. So I know that you recently, we recently closed on your transaction a little while ago, but I had a question for you. Are you curious of what your home's worth today?
I mean, I saw on Zillow, they were saying that it went up about.
No. You stop. Come on. You and I, we work together. You know Zillow. Zillow. Listen, the reason I'm calling is because what I'm doing for all my clients is I'm trying to help as many families as I can. And what I want to do is, since we did some business together, I'd love to stop by and just drop off a home equity comparison and valuation for you. It's good for your tax stuff. And it's good for if you're monitoring your portfolio and your financials, you can get a real good handle on kind of what's going on. Is that all right if I swing by and do that for you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure. We'll be around
All
this
right,
weekend.
wonderful. Around this weekend? Perfect. I'll
Yep.
be in the area. How's the family? Good?
Family's good, man. No complaints. Everybody's healthy. And yeah, looking forward to spring break.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, David, before I let you go, because I know you're super busy, is it all right if can you think of anybody off the top of your head? And if you can't right now, it's okay. I might need any help with any sort of real estate needs like I did for you.
Off the top of my head, no, man. I'll keep you in mind, but right now, nothing comes. Am I frozen or is he frozen?
Did we freeze
Yeah,
that?
it froze.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was about to say, man, I just spent all this money with the Geek Squad. I better not be freezing down here. I was about to have an issue. Okay.
Oh
We'll come
no,
back.
it's my Geek Squad.
Okay. All right.
You're good. You're good. So yeah, so that's what I'd like to do, David. If you have anybody, if you don't have the answer to that question right now, that's not a problem. I'll touch base with you on Saturday. And as always, you're going to get stuff from me. So it was good to talk to you. I look forward to seeing you this weekend. And if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
So I love what you were offering up, Matt. And right now, think about this, guys. We need to be calling our sphere of influence. What are some things that we can offer them right now? Like doing the equity analysis, showing them what their property is worth is something that we can be offering them. Because here's what I know just from personal experience. Over the last 2 years, the equity in my house went up a lot. I was not insured properly for how much equity I have in my home. So as a value add to the people in your database, you can say, hey, I'm just going to do a quick equity analysis, show you what your home is worth now. So you have that information in case you want to cash in or maybe buy some investment property. But more importantly, I want to make sure that you're properly insured. Have you talked to your insurance carrier? Do they know the new value of your home? Like that's another thing that we can do that's a value add that makes our clients appreciative to us because we're looking out for them. And it's not just about asking for business. V, go ahead.
You kind of said what I was going to say,
Oh,
but
sorry.
because I'm here in Florida, it's even more important for my clients to have their insurance match up their home value because God knows we get hurricanes every other day.
Don't I know it? Although Barclay
Hey,
would
David.
say, what rain? Barclay, I'm going to the beach and y'all having hurricanes. So, but go ahead. Who was speaking? Was that Matt? Go ahead.
That was me, David. Real quick. So there's two others that I use at this particular time of year, just to share with everyone quickly. I do anybody who did a transaction with me in the prior year, come springtime, I call them up and ask them, hey, do you have a copy of your CD Alta? And they usually say no. Say, great, I'm going to send you over an email copy of that for you. You're probably going to need it for your tax purpose as your write-off for your transaction last year. That's number one. Number two would also be just any sort of springtime reminders. Obviously up here in New Jersey, if you got sprinkler systems or anything like that, like just, a typical home reminder, like, hey, get your air ducts cleaned and all of your other stuff and get your sprinkler system situated as the warmer weather starts coming and dewinterize. That's it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And listen, guys, when you have a closing, tell me, raise your hand if you do this. This was a standard practice for me. Every time I had a closing, I would take the HUD for that closing. I would put it in the envelope, address it, put the stamp on it with my client's information. And on the first of the year, I would mail that to them saying, you'll need this for taxes. You probably don't know where your settlement statement is. Here it is. So when you meet with your CPA, it's readily available. Anybody on here do that? If you don't, you should start. It's another touch. And I know every year I'm scrambling right now. I still haven't finished my taxes. I got a pile of paper and I'm scrambling to find stuff. If you did that for your clients, you think they'd be like, man, I love that Dave. He's a good guy. He's looking out for me. Let me see how I can help him. That's what it's all about. It's all about having the connection and making those touches. All right.
Right, David.
Yes.
This is Betty. What I do
What's up, Betty?
on the first of the year, just like you said, I don't mail it to them. I send them an email saying, Happy New Year. Here's your tax information that you'll need to file your taxes. So yeah, great idea.
All right. So I got a question here. Danae has a question in the chat. She talked to a seller. Oh, hold on 1 second. It went down. Spoke to a seller 3 days ago, rushed me off the phone because they were on their way to work at 10 a.m. Followed up yesterday, no answer. You're dropping off a thank you note. Should you door knock at this time or just leave the note? I would door knock. If they don't answer, I would leave the note. And here's the thing you have to understand, and this was the hardest lesson for me. It's not their job to call us back. It's our job to follow up. So I always leave a message. Here's my number. If you choose to call me back at this number. if I don't hear from you, I'm going to follow up tomorrow. And I told you guys a story about Nicole, the expired. I call her every day for over a week. No answer. I called every day. And she had finally called me back and apologized because she was so busy. She felt bad that she didn't call me back. So I would say if you really want it, show them you want it. And one thing I always say to people is like, I've been working hard to get a hold of you. I'm a bulldog. If I'm working this hard to earn your business, imagine what I'm going to do once you put me to work. So I would use that, and I would continue to call and stay top of mind. When they're ready, they'll answer. When they're ready, they'll call you back. In the meantime, continue to door knock, leave the note if they don't answer, and continue to do your follow-up calls. All right, so let's go ahead and do some objection handling. I'm putting 90 seconds up on the clock. I'm going to start with Mr. Eric Gomez. It was good to see you this week. Eric, tell me a objection that you want to work with when it comes to working with sellers, whether it's your sphere of influence, expires, or for sell by owners. What's an objection that you would like to work on this morning?
I want to think about it.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to be the seller. I want to observe. I want Barclay to be the seller on here, and then I'm going to let Barclay go. So Barclay, tell Eric that you want to think about it. I'm going to give Eric 90 seconds to overcome that.
Hey Eric, thank you for the meeting today, but I really want to take some time to think about it.
Okay, Berkeley. I mean, you want to think about it? Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what specifically you have to think about it?
I just want to make sure that I'm making the right decision.
Okay, you just want to think. I mean, you just want to see if you're going to make the right decision. Okay. Now,
go with your gut, man. What are you thinking about saying? You got it. He wants to think it over, think if he's making the right decision. What's your gut tell you to say?
now, Berkeley, if there was a way that I can show you exactly what you're looking to net, would that be something that you might be open to have a conversation?
Not currently. Like I said, I just want to make sure I'm making the right decision. So, you were the last agent that we interviewed, so we're gonna go and kind of go over notes to see what we like, and I'll call you tomorrow and let you know what we think.
All right, no problem. I don't know how to overcome this part.
Okay. Well, Eric, that's why you're here, man. Listen, if you knew how to overcome all the objections, you wouldn't be on the call. You'd be good. So I appreciate you even, throwing that out there, because now we have something to talk about. So Eric, I want to reverse roles right now, and I want you to give that objection to Barclay. Tell him that you want to think it over. And Barclay, I want to put 90 seconds on the clock for you, and I want to hear how you would overcome that objection from Eric. Let's go.
Okay, Barclay. Just want to think about it. I mean, I know I like what you said, everything, but I mean, I have to think about it.
I definitely understand that. And besides you thinking about it, is there anything else that's stopping you from listening with me today?
Well, to be honest, I just want to interview another agents and see what they have to offer, and just gonna make my decision later on.
Okay. When you say the word offer, are we talking price? Are we talking terms? Like what do you mean specifically about offer?
Meaning what kind of marketing they're gonna offer, what commission. I mean, I have to take in consideration different facts.
Okay, I definitely understand that. And is there anything else that you did not hear from me today that did not make you feel comfortable, or that you're looking to hear from me?
No, I hear everything. I just need to compare with the other agents and just choose the best agent to sell my home.
Okay, and do you feel like comfortable that I could be that agent that could help you out with that?
I think so. I just need to compare and see what they have to offer anyway.
Okay, perfect. How about we do this? How about we could do a trial run where we have an easy out contract, and that way you can at least put me to work. And you could see like what we have to offer. And if for any moment you don't like me or anything like that, we could just call it quits. How does that sound for you?
Well, to be honest, I have to talk to my wife and see what she says about that anyway.
Okay, I definitely understand. Happy wife, happy life. And is there a way that we could put her on the phone right now so we could have a talk with her, so we could see if there's any questions or anything that we could handle?
All right, time is up. I like what Barclay said, though. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Is there any way we can get her on the phone right now? A lot of us would say, okay, talk to her and get back with me. I've been at listing appointments and the other decision maker wasn't there. And I'm like, can we get them on the phone? Can we conference them in? Can we do a Zoom and have them available right now? Barclay, that's the right way to go. There's something else that could have happened there, though. Where else could Barclay have taken that? I want somebody to raise their hand and tell me how you would handle that. I need to think it over. I'm not sure. I want to talk to these other agents and see what they have to offer me. What is another way we could handle that objection and push through and still get that listing when we're there?
I'm gonna call on Manny.
Okay. There we go. Manny, what's up? We got the
Hey, what's going
Miami.
on?
Stand up. Let's go.
All right, so where are you passing the baton off to me at? What point?
Right where I got these other agents, and I just want to hear what they have to say and make a decision.
David, I totally understand that they want to interview other agents. Are there any other questions that I didn't answer that you think these other agents will answer?
No, I mean, you told me what you do for marketing. You know, we discussed commission and price. I just want to hear what they have to say, what they think my house is worth, and see if they do anything different to market my property.
I completely understand that. Man, Barkley, you got me good on this one. This was,
Oh.
I really don't know how to overcome this one objection right now.
Yeah, you
Because
do.
You do, trust me.
You got it, Manny. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna pause real quick while I say this because I don't want to take up your time. Hold on, let me pause. Here's the deal, Manny. What the seller doesn't know is that you're 2 months behind on your mortgage payment and your car's about to be repossessed. If you don't make some money, if you don't have something going, things are about to get real dicey in your house right now. And you're on the phone with me, and you cannot let me walk away and interview with someone else. You got to get this listing. If you don't get this listing, things get real bad real fast. What are you going to say to me if I'm telling you, hey, I'm not sure, let me meet with these other people and see what they have to say? What can you say to me that's going to make me stop and listen and hire you today? I know that's a lot of pressure. Let's go, though. You got this, man. You got this.
Okay, so you want to meet other, all right, so I understand you want to meet other agents, and I already asked you if there's anything that I haven't responded. You like everything I've said so far. If you like everything I've said so far, David, why don't you put me to work for free right now? See where everything is going with us. If you like the way I work, we keep it going, and at any time you can cancel.
Okay. All right. So Manny, here's where I'm thinking. Here's what I love about this, because we all struggle with these things and we get stuck and we're like, man, what do I say? What should I say? This is why we do this call, right? So in my head, and Manny, you can play this out with me if you want. You can be the seller, and I would say something like, so Manny, I completely respect the fact that you want to talk to some other agents. When I talked to you before our meeting, one of the questions was if you felt comfortable with me and confident that I could sell your home, would you list with me? And you said yes. So Manny, I want to ask you right now, do you feel comfortable with me after our discussion?
Absolutely.
Do you feel confident based on everything I showed you, my sales stats, what I've done for other clients, that I could sell your home?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So typically when the seller says that they still want to have meetings with other people and they feel comfortable with me, it's because they feel obligated to have those meetings and they feel like they need to hear what those other agents have to say. And it sounds like that's the case with you, isn't it?
A little bit. I know some of those guys. I know them from a family friend, so I feel like I kind of have to give them an opportunity to meet me because I have to see them at the basketball court, at the gym or something. So I feel obligated, and I don't want this negative tension and everything.
Yeah. And, that can be a tough one to handle, man, because we all know somebody in real estate and we never want to upset anyone. And yet it's not really about me. You don't owe me anything. You really don't owe the other people anything either. However, you owe it to yourself to make sure we get this house on the market and get it sold, because you told me you have to be in North Carolina no later than the end of May. Is that still correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So here's what I do, because I understand how you feel, and I've had other clients that have felt the exact same way. However, what they found is that if they continued on with those other interviews, a lot of times they met with agents that are buying the listing. Do you know what that means?
No.
It means that they're going to sit and tell you what you want to hear in order to get your property sold. And a lot of times that ends up keeping the house on the market for an extended period of time, and you don't have that option. I mean, what's the worst case scenario if your home doesn't sell? What does that mean for you if it doesn't sell by the end of May?
I can't go to North Carolina, and that would upset my family.
Of course, of course. So here's what we're going to do, Manny. I mean, you already said you feel confident I can sell the home. We're going to go ahead and sign the paperwork, and those agents that you're thinking of meeting with, I'm going to call them and let them know you listed with me. But here's the good thing, Manny. I'm actually going to call them and let them know about the broker open we're having, and I'm going to invite them to bring their clients. They still get an opportunity to earn a commission. And to be quite honest, they'll end up making more money because they don't have all the costs I have to get this house marketed. They're going to walk away doing even better if they bring us a buyer. So why don't we just go ahead and do the right thing and get the paperwork signed so that I can get your house on the market? And I'll take that off of your plate. I'll call those agents for you and let them know that you listed with me. And then I'll invite them to come in and bring their clients if they have someone. Would that work if I was able to do that for you?
Sure.
Oh, you made that easy. Okay, sure. I'm not going to argue. Sign the paperwork. Let's go. Let's go.
Now, would you still use in this conversation if they said one of those agents that they felt compelled to interview was a family friend or a friend? Would you throw in that part of a referral agreement so someone could feel whole and I wouldn't have that? Before
I'm offering money, I'm asking if this person wasn't a friend or a relative, would they be a serious contender to sell your house? Or are you just looking to interview them because of the connection?
Okay.
If they tell me it's only because of the connection, I probably am not going to offer a referral in the beginning. I'm going to go in and say, let me call them. I'll cancel the appointment. However, if they have that relationship and they really feel some type of way about that person not earning income, then I could throw out the option of paying them a referral fee.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So good role play, man. I appreciate that. Tim.
Real quick, I have
Okay,
to say, if they weren't a friend or a family member, would they still be in consideration for the job of selling your home? Like, write that down. That is, dude, that's amazing.
And listen, Pete, I learned that from someone else, and I actually used that on the phone, and they're like, no, it's my cousin. I got to, right? They just kind of feel this obligation to interview the people they know. And once they put that out there in the open, they've already told me they're not the best agent for the job. They're making the argument for me. So it's so important that we ask that question. Thank you for bringing that up again, Pete. Appreciate you. Tim, I love when Tim raises his hand. What's up, Tim? What you got?
Well, yeah, I noticed that you just combined all of the objections that we heard before into one to handle that one objection, which is it's like an advanced level. I'm gonna go back to this video and write all of that down and study. I have a handler for it, not as good, but this is from the Ignite script, and basically it's boiled down to drilling into the confidence, saying, "Oh, I hear that you want to be confident, right? And
Correct.
if you were 100% confident in me, you wouldn't bring that up. And if you knew that I was going to do everything possible and get you exactly the price you want, you'd sign, right? And the truth is, you can never know that. Let's sign the agreement and know that you can cancel me anytime if you're not satisfied."
I think that's another good way to handle that, Tim. And I love that you're reading through those Ignite scripts. You got to have different scripts in your back pocket to use. Tim, before you mute yourself, I want you to choose somebody and throw out an objection to them. I want you to be the seller. So choose anyone and really look at the people that don't have their cameras on. I want you to choose somebody with no camera on.
Who doesn't on?
I saw a few cameras come on real quick. I don't know if you noticed that. They were like, boop, boop. Go ahead, Tim.
Janet. And I see Janet.
Okay, Janet. Okay.
I don't know if she's available.
Janet, can you unmute?
Hi, unfortunately, I can't at the moment. I'm just hearing from the background. I apologize.
No worries. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and pick someone else, Tim.
Okay. Alexia Hill.
All right. Alexia, come on down. Let's unmute. Let's get it going. You ready? Going once, going twice.
People are being exposed right now, bro.
I know. And I have to say this really quickly. And let me just say this. We Sweat and practice so we don't bleed in war. It's okay if you get on here and you completely mess up. What you have to understand is you get stronger just by raising your hand. It's like, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. I messed up, but they taught me what to say. So next time that comes up, I know what to say. So I really encourage you guys, get out of your comfort zone and raise your hand. For now, though. So oh, Lauren, you ready? That's what I'm talking about. Tim, give it to Lauren. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Any objections?
Any objection?
Okay. Yeah. So we just saw this house. We like it, but are you available next Tuesday to show us 3 other houses in the area?
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about what you're looking for so we can narrow down your search and really get you what you are interested in.
Okay.
What are you focused on? Area? Let's talk about your requirements and what do you need?
Yeah, so we like this house, but the other 3 houses can be better. So this was the situation that I got with another colleague yesterday. We went to this client, working with them for a long time. And after seeing this one, they still want to see other houses. And this one, they said they like it. And it's met a lot of their criteria, which is frustrating because what's the best way
what's holding you back? So what's that? My next question would be, what is holding you back? If this house, you like the house, it's meeting the checklist, what's currently holding you back on presenting an offer right now on this home?
I love that. I love the questions.
Okay, that's good, actually.
And how about this too? Like, if we go look at those other properties and you find out they aren't what you're looking for, and we come back and this one's already under contract, how are you going to feel about that? If you lose out on this opportunity, you know you like this house already. If you lose out on it because we go look at other properties, are you going to be okay with that, or is that going to hurt? Like, I want to find out how much you actually love this home, because maybe you don't like it enough. And that's okay if you don't. However, if you're going to feel some type of way about losing it, we need to talk a little bit more about this property and putting in an offer. That's where I would go with the conversation. All right, time's up there. All right.
Good.
Any thoughts on that? Pete, David, Matt, Lou, Manny, any thoughts on that?
Questions. That's what you got. Just ask them no questions. You know what I mean? Hey,
Yes.
what about, let me ask you something. What about the home that we saw today that makes you want to see the other properties? Is there something that sticks out to you? How do you feel when you walk through that house?
Something else that I would
Go ahead,
point
Lauren.
out is something else I would point out that I've done. Like, if you know that this is checking their boxes, this is everything they want, but they're into the, like, I'm just looking, I want to continue looking, I want the best house. If you know that this is the house that meets their criteria, I always say, I'm happy to go show you the house. However, are you willing to lose this house? Because if you are, then this is not the house to you. If they really like that house, they're going to tell you no, and they're going to pull the trigger.
I love that, Lauren. Yeah. It was nice meeting you too last week, Lauren. Thank you for being here today. So Matt said questions. I hope that you guys are writing down a lot of these questions. Again, you have to have your scripts, you got to have your objection handlers, and you have to have a list of questions. If you want to be a successful prospector on the phone, you have to learn how to get in the question mode. You can have a cheat sheet. It's okay to have the questions written down. So I would say when you hear a good question here, write it down. Or when I send you the recording on Wednesday, go back and rewatch the video and write down the questions. I have a list of questions about commission, a list of questions about we want to interview other agents, a list of questions about this may not be the right house for us, we want to look at other properties. You should have a list of questions that you can go to and keep that conversation going. David, what's up, man?
So I want to give Lou a shout out because I feel like these calls are tough, and like he said, we should be tougher on each other. So I actually have objections I actually got this week, and one that I got a couple of times and I got stuck on was I've gotten a lot of calls from realtors, and I'm really not interested in working with a realtor, right? Like adamant. This is like the first few days that they've been in FSBO. So I wrote some notes to myself, but I would like to role play it.
Okay, so choose someone to role play. And David, what I want you to do, that same energy you got from that FSBO, I want you to mirror that and give that to the person you choose. So choose someone to be the seller, and let's go.
Lou.
Let's
Or
do
could
it,
be the
David.
agent, I should say. You be the seller, David. You be the seller.
David, you be the seller, and I'll take it.
Okay.
Right.
So
David, thanks for picking up the call. So from what I'm understanding from you, you just recently came on as a for sale by owner about 3 days ago, and you're looking to try to sell on your own. Is that accurate?
Listen, I've gotten a lot of calls for. Are you a real estate agent?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I
I've
represent.
gotten a lot of calls from real estate agents, and I'm really not interested in working with an agent, with a realtor.
Okay, I can understand and appreciate that. Is there a specific reason why?
Yeah, I feel like I can do this on my own.
Okay.
We've sold
And-
houses before. This is not my first time selling a house.
Okay. And David, can I ask, what do you do for a living?
I'm a banker.
You're a banker. Okay.
Yes.
And specifically what in the banking? You're on the finance side? Are you on the loan side? What specifically in banking do you do?
I'm like a client rep for acquisitions.
Okay. So David, one thing that I like to do as a realtor in the local marketplace is I like to be familiar with the inventory that's out there on the market, regardless of whether you're selling as a for sale by owner or
Lou,
you're
I'm
on the
sorry,
market.
Lou, I can appreciate that, but I'm not interested in working with a realtor. You can bring me a buyer. You can bring me a
David,
buyer. I'm paying 2%. You can bring me a buyer.
David, I appreciate that. And at this point in time, I'm not asking you to work with me as a seller. I'm merely asking for you to allow me access to see your home so that I can preview it for clients that I may be working with and just get a chance to see what your home looks like compared to other houses that are on the market right now. Is that something that you'd be willing to allow me to do and come see the home tomorrow at 4 o'clock?
If you have a buyer, you can come see the home.
Okay, so prior to me promoting your property to a buyer, it's important that I can understand what your home offers and what it looks like compared to others in the marketplace that we've seen. So I just would like to preview it for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and get an opportunity to get into the house. Does tomorrow at 4 o'clock work for you?
Yeah, tomorrow at 4 works.
Great. I will see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock, David. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. All right.
So the one thing I don't want to do is you're agitated. I don't want to agitate you more. I just want to get into your house, right? And from there, what I can do is as I walk around the house, then I can start to provide value add, right? Hey, David, are you familiar with the certificate of occupancy process? You're going to need to have a handrail here. You might need to get your hot water tank heated. And I'm going to bring you a seller's disclosure. I'm going to print out a copy of a seller's disclosure online, and I'm going to start to loosen you up as a for sale by owner and disarm you and provide you value, right? Hey, here's a seller's disclosure. Are you familiar with what a seller's disclosure is? And because in my experience, if you're angry on the phone and you're agitated and I keep pushing your buttons, you're going to either hang up on me or you're going to get a bad taste in your mouth about me. So the only thing I want to do is get into your house. And then at that point in time, we can start to bond and provide value. That's my approach.
Lou, I like that approach. And guys, pay attention because you had Lou's approach. Now you're about to hear Matt, then you're going to hear Pete, right? So we got about 3 or 4 different people who are going to show you this one objection, how to overcome it. And we're going to get this. If you call FSBOs, you're going to get this objection. So learn 3 or 4 different ways to overcome it. Matt, you're up. What's up? How would you work that with David?
All right, David, let's play. Come on. Go ahead, ring.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of calls from agents. I'm not really interested in listening with an agent.
Yeah, I assume you'd say that, David. I got a quick question for you, if that's okay.
What is it?
If I could come over and just gather some information for about 3.5 to 5 minutes and have the opportunity to take a look at your home, I might be able to connect you with a buyer. Is that something you'd be open to?
I mean, what kind of information are you gathering?
Just stuff that buyers would be looking for. Everybody's got bathrooms and bedrooms. I need to look at the detail to make sure that I put the right people in your space if the opportunity is perfect for them and you, because we'd agree you need to go to the end of the line together in order for a transaction to take place. So, I mean, most people are pretty open-minded to it. It only takes about 3.5 minutes. So, and if you're anything like me, you're probably wondering, how are you going to do this in 3.5 minutes? So I have some availability this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Which one works best for you?
Do you have any buyers? Do you have any buyers?
Yeah, I do. I have a team of 12 agents who service 5 different counties. So depending on the benefits and features of your home, I might have a particular buyer that I can send your direction.
So Matt, you have the listing. You can see my house. Why don't you just bring a buyer?
Sure. I could absolutely just bring a buyer. Let me ask you this question, David. Would you buy a car without test driving it?
No.
Okay. Well, most buyers aren't going to buy a house without seeing it. And in my arena,
Right,
I
but
have
you
to
have the
preview in order to
listing.
do.
You have the listing. You have the listing. Like, why do they need to come to my house? You have the. You can show them the listing. If they like the listing, you can bring the buyer to my house.
Okay. I understand your perspective. Do you mind if I'll ask you another question real quick and I'll let you go?
Sure.
If you were buying a car from me and I showed you the Carfax, would you purchase without seeing it?
No.
It's the same concept, David. What do you do for work?
I'm a garbage man.
You're a garbage man. Okay.
Yes.
Blue collar industry. I can appreciate that. You have long hours in the morning?
I mean, I get it done, bro. We're up early and we're done early.
Okay, cool. So if I were able to alleviate some of the stress of bringing buyers through, or at least just coming through and saying I can check the box off for everybody in my Rolodex, is that something that's at least worth 3.5, 4 minutes of your time? If you're hardworking as you are, I'm sure your time is super valuable.
Yeah.
I have some time this afternoon at
If
4.
you
and
got
tomorrow
buyers, if you got buyers and you need to come see my house before you tell the buyers to list.
I'm sorry?
If you have buyers and you want to see my house before you talk to your buyers, then I'm fine with that. Let's do it.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, David.
So Matt, I like that. And one thing I've learned is sometimes during this, when you're having the conversation and someone's being tough, like David's being really tough, really standoffish, make them laugh a little bit. He's saying, you got the listing photos. What else do you need? I mean, you can make a joke and say, listen, man, I don't know about you, but I've done some online dating in the past, and I've seen the pictures, and then when I get there, it doesn't match up. So, you know, if you can understand that, I really need to see it in person. Somebody needs to mute too. I don't know who that is. Somebody needs to mute. There we go. But just make them laugh. And so when I get David to laugh, I'll say, hold on a second. I need somebody to mute.
I think that's Scott Bray.
Oh, Bray. I'll mute you.
Sorry, man.
All good. I'll mute you. And so then after I get you to laugh, David, I'm going to say, in all seriousness, David, just like you're busy, all of my clients are busy. And the reason they hire me is to save them time. They don't go see a property that I haven't seen. And so what I'm going to do is just schedule a 5-minute preview. I'll be in and out of your hair. Unless you have some questions for me, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. But I'll be in your neighborhood tomorrow. I can come, at 10, or I can come at 4. What's the best time? I'm not asking. I'm telling you, I'm coming out. Like, what's up? When can I come? And I promise you, if you get them to laugh and open up a little bit and just be human with it, right? Just have fun with it. Get on the phone and have fun and push through these objections. People will let you come out. Pete, let's hear what you have to say.
All right, let's go. And now I can't use what you just said, so I can't use the dating thing. I feel like that's cheating. So, and I had 2 other people go, so keep that in mind. I had some time to kind of think about this. So,
okay.
So hit me, David.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of calls from realtors. I'm really not interested in working with a realtor.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, and would you say you're getting a lot of calls from buyers or mostly realtors?
Mostly realtors.
Gotcha. How many have called, would you say?
I listed it this morning and I've had at least 20 calls already.
20 calls. So I'm lucky 21. Did I win?
No.
No. All right. So listen, David, I get it. And I completely respect that you're selling this house on your own, regardless of 20 agents calling you. And I'm sure they're all really calling, trying to get you to list the property. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just curious. I mean, are you open to the idea of an agent bringing you a buyer for this home?
Yeah. I tell you all, I tell every one of you guys, you bring me a buyer, I'll give you 2%. I've done this before. I don't want to list the property with an agent. Bring me a buyer, I'll give you 2%.
Okay, awesome. So you're paying out 2%. That's perfect. And I mean, and again, my name's Pete. What is your name?
My name's Daria.
Daria. All right, awesome, Daria. So Daria, I'm looking at the house and, I mean, it looks great. And I actually love this neighborhood. I mean, what has you thinking of selling?
Pete, I don't know why you're asking me all these questions. I'm selling my house. I don't even live there. It's an investment property. I'm selling the house. I'm paying 2%. Do you have a buyer?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I actually haven't seen the home. And I know, so you said it's an investment property. Is it occupied right now or is it vacant?
Vacant.
Okay, perfect. So it's pretty easy to show. And do you live in the area?
Yeah, I mean, I can get there.
You can get there. Okay, perfect. So is today at 5 or tomorrow at 6 better to stop by and see the property?
I mean, are you bringing a buyer, Pete?
David, let me ask you a question. I mean, do you want me to just tell you I have a buyer, find someone in my pool and bring somebody to come see the house just so that I can see it? Or do you want a buyer who's actually going to buy this home?
I want a buyer who's actually going to buy this home.
Yeah, yeah, I thought you might say that. So listen, let's do this. I'm going to stop by today at 5. That way I can preview the home. Listen, we've got in our brokerage, we've got over 500 agents, which means we have thousands of buyers in our pool. I'm pretty sure that if I see your home, I can match you up with at least one of them, probably several. So if I could do that for you, wouldn't it be worth maybe 10 or 15 minutes of your time?
Sure. If you can do that, I got 10 minutes to show you my house.
Perfect. And actually, there's 2 reasons. So 1, I'm going to stop by where I'm going to preview your home, be able to match it up for any buyers. And 2, I'm going to share with you what we do to get homes sold and sell over 100 homes a year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share you exactly what the timeline and what our plan looks like. And Daria, if you want to take that plan and maybe you want to take something out of that and you want to implement that into something that you're doing, I'm totally fine with that. So it's kind of a win-win, isn't it?
You say so.
Perfect. So today at 5 or tomorrow at 6 is better for you?
Today at 5 works for me.
Awesome. All right, cool. I'll see you there.
Thanks.
Dave, you're a tough role play partner. Pete, good job.
Love
And
it.
I love what you said because, guys, this is a script. David, if I had a buyer, if all the other agents you talked to had a buyer, your home would be sold already, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's
Like
that's like on page 2 of my scripts. And I guess I just want to thank everybody that did that because I've been waiting for this call because these are like, we could do this all day long. We could do this all day long. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and certain buyers or certain sellers, like if you catch them and I'm noticing the time frame, right? The first week, they're blasting you, right? If it's been a month, they're a little bit more chatty, right? If they're experienced investors, they're just banging you with the 2%. One guy was like 1.5%. I don't need anything, right? So I'm trying to figure out, and I think Dave, you helped out. Like, okay, make them laugh. You know, like I've just been actually trying to get through the script. So I've done that successfully with some people, and those people I'm absolutely going to follow up. But I thought about Lou this week when he said, "Oh, we're being too nice on each other on these calls."
But you're right. So David, you're right. So think of value, right? Think of how you can provide value. Run an MLS report of what his competition is on the market so that they know who they're going up against, right? You might be trying to sell for sale by owner. What's your email address? Let me share with you what's currently on the marketplace so you're familiar with what your competition is. Just something of value. It doesn't have to be right that second about getting the listing. It's got to be about differentiating yourself. So on Pete's instance, of those other 20 people that called you, right? Because all those other 20 people are trying to get that listing. Are they going to take the extra step and provide value? Talk about the CO process. Talk about what a seller's disclosure is. Show them the competition of what's on the market and what they're competing against right now. Just something that separates you, that you can continue the dialogue and the conversation, that you're an expert in your craft and in your field.
Love that. Love that. And then really quick, Saba, I'm coming to you. I know your hand's been up. Thank you so much for being patient. David, when I had investors on the phone, they're all about the money, right? For them, it's not emotional. It's all dollars and cents. And what I learned to do, sometimes when you're talking to an investor, you don't think it makes sense to find out motivation. It does. It's important to find out, like, do they have another investment opportunity they're looking at and that they're eyeing, but they can't buy it because their money's tied up in this property? If they do, and you can help them solve that problem by getting this home so quickly, netting them what they need to net so they can move on to the next project, you can get yourself in the door. So don't feel like you don't need to have that motivation conversation with an investor. You do. They're selling that house for a reason. What does that mean when they sell it? Where are they taking that money? Where are they putting that money? And then also with a investor, it's all about dollars. Like, you don't owe me anything. You don't owe any agent anything. You owe it to yourself to make sure that when you sell this house, you leave no money on the table. I'm going to come out and go over the numbers, show you what I do for other investors. If it makes sense, great. I love to work with you. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. Like, we'll shake hands and part ways. It's just a numbers thing for you. Let me run the numbers and show you what I can do. And investors, if you talk to them and you take charge and you're not asking for permission, you're telling them what you're going to do, they'll let you come out. Saba, thank you for being patient. What's up? I don't know if I'm saying your first name right. There we go.
Hey, Dave. So
Hey.
I had a call with the for sale by owner, and he said I'm a lawyer, and I'm not letting anybody inside my house until I receive the pre-approval with the exact amount, which was the house was in Wayne, was 800, I believe 25K, and that was his request. So like I went through a few questions and tried to soften the conversation by asking like why you're selling and all this stuff, but he insisted on not allowing anybody inside unless we email him the pre-approval, and he was willing to give 2% to the buyer agent, but I just felt like I cannot move any closer. That
I mean, I want some other people to raise their hand to talk about how they would cover this. I think Debbie's raising her hand, maybe, but let me tell you this. The first thing that comes to my mind, I love hitting people with the Dr. Phil. And how's that working for you? Your house has been on the market like 30 days. How's that strategy working? And then be quiet and let them kind of process that. But let me tell you this, those people who are pushing back, you can't come in my house if you don't have the pre-approval. I get it because they don't want people wasting their time. And what I like to say is what I said before. Listen, if I had a specific buyer for your home, if everyone else did, we'd be sending you those pre-approval and your home would be sold already. The issue is that's not how things work. In order for me to know if I have a buyer for your home, I actually need to see your property. I represent a lot of buyers and sellers in the area, and there are a lot of times people come to my open houses and my property isn't right for them. And when I know about other homes that might sync up with their benefits and features that they're looking for, I'd be happy to call you and bring that buyer by. However, I don't know your house. So all I'm going to do is stop by for 5 minutes, take a quick preview. And that's my job anyhow. I need to know the local inventory, and I haven't seen your home. And in case you happen to sell it on your own and I need to use it for a comp in the future, at least I've seen it. So tonight at 6 or tomorrow at 4, like I'm going to push back and still go to get that appointment. I said it fast because we're running out of time right now, but I hope you got what I said, and I hope that made sense.
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much.
Okay. Marilyn.
Yeah, actually, I called the same guy and he gave me the same response. And
Me too,
as soon
Marilyn.
as
He's
I
on
got
Clinton.
back to him,
Oh my word.
Yeah, we all am.
as soon as I got back to him, and I told him I actually screenshot how the average days on market, and I said, well, you've been on the market, you've been on Zillow for like 3 months, and the average days on market in that area is about 26 days. The only thing he could tell me is, I'm an attorney, I'm a doctor, you're like the 20th or the 200th broker real estate agent that called me. Congratulations to you. He kind of was a little rude about it. And there was no there was no getting around that one. It was just like straight to the point. No, just send me a pre-approval on the buyer, and that's it.
Got it.
I actually sold his neighbor's house. He's testing the market to see if he gets a number that he wants. He's actually not even really trying to sell, because his house is not worth the value on what he's got it on Zillow for. He's a tough cookie.
But let me ask you guys a question, and we're going to go over by a couple minutes. Here's my question, then B, I'm coming to you. He's testing the market to see what he can get. On the off chance he could get a number that made sense for him, somebody tell me where is he moving to and why that's important to him. I had 3 people on here who've called that guy. Somebody tell me what his motivation is if he had sold that house.
Yeah,
at the price.
his kids got older and he wanna move to a condo with his wife. Like he doesn't need all the space anymore. That's what he told me.
Okay, and what's important to him about having less space? What does that mean for him?
Yeah, that's a good question. I never thought of asking that question.
So here are the questions. Why are you selling the house? Why is that important to you? If you sold it and you got into a smaller property, what would that do for you? And then ultimately, when you're living in that situation, how's that feel? And what's your timeline? You need to be asking those questions. And here's why I'm saying that. Too many times we're rushing to book an appointment and we don't even understand the motivation. If we understood the motivation and we took the time to dig deep, we could make a connection and that person would be willing to meet with us. But we go from, hey, how are you, to can I come meet with you? Don't rush and jump to the appointment so quickly. Take some time and slow down and uncover motivation, because if I understand what's important to him, if he starts opening up and they need to go into a smaller property because they've retired and they're on the fixed income, then I have a different conversation because he's running away from pain, right? So we got to figure out what that is. So don't rush past motivation. Make sure you guys are spending time and really digging deep. V, I'm going to give you the last word, then I have something to say before we wrap up.
I would also add to what you said, David, is validate his feelings. He's been getting a whole bunch of calls from a whole lot of realtors. I'm sure he's frustrated and nobody's bringing him a buyer. So validate his feelings, and then he might open up some more.
V, I think that's really good. That's a really good word. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So really quickly before we get out of here, and I'm not going to put this person on the spot. If they want to speak up, they can speak up. I'm just going to say this. My last push class that wrapped up, one of the students in that push class already has picked up over 3 listings. I think we're at 4 right now. And my question for you guys, who on this call, and just put me in the chat because I just want to get a feel, who on this call would like to be in a situation where you're taking 3 or 4 listings, not even a month, if you did 3 or 4 a quarter, like who would want to be in that situation? Who's recognizing with this settlement that we got to be listing focused in order to win in real estate right now? If we don't want to have to worry about this NAR settlement, be listing focused. You negotiate your commission up front. You know you're getting paid. If that's you, I want the me in there. And the reason why I want you to put the me in there is because I want to talk to you. I want you to book a 15-minute call with me. And I want to talk to you about the upcoming push program I have starting in April. I just put the link in the chat. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm no pressure. I'm not going to force you to sign up. It has to be right for you. However, I want to talk to you about what the program is and what I do to help agents master scripts and objection handling and get on the phone. And the one thing I will tell you really quickly is we start with the end in mind. What do I mean by that? I start the push class off by teaching you how to pre-qualify and how to master the listing presentation and internalize it. So you have this confidence when you pick up the phone and you know someone says, yes, come meet with me, you can handle it. Because a lot of times you guys aren't making calls because you know you can't handle the listing presentation. And so when you have the confidence that you can handle that presentation, getting on the phone becomes easier. And you understand what your goal is in mind. Your goal is to get the freaking listing signed. So I just wanted to say that it'd be my honor to talk with you guys. This market is getting tough. It's a skills-based business. We got to get our skills up. I hope you know that. Matt, go ahead.
Push works. I'm that guy.
Matt's that guy. 4 listings. I didn't want to put it out there if you didn't want to share. So I just said but Matt,
I appreciate that, bro. But I know you're doing your pitch here, so
yeah,
it works.
Course, man.
Works, yeah.
Because people wonder, they're like, if I do the work, like, does it work? It works. You guys are on here. Like David just finished push. Matt just finished push. Pete's been in push. Like Manny's been in push. The people that you hear on here that have the scripting down, Diego, like they know this stuff because they've been through the program. And I'm not sitting here saying their success is all because of me. They put the work in. Like I'm teaching them what I teach everybody. They're actually implementing and putting the work in, so they get all the glory, right? And yet you need to know the skills. Dave, I'll let you get the final word.
I just want to refer, I think it was Charlotte that said she left Speakeasy and went and made calls, and she's got a renter that may be a longtime client. Like that's what it's about, right? Like you armed us with the scripts and the confidence to get out there and make those calls. And now I'm making the calls, right? Like I don't have 4 listings like Matt, but I'm on the phone talking to people, and Matt's my accountability partner. So when I get off the phone, I call Matt and I say, this is what, and Matt's been asking me, oh, wait, when you gonna call Alice back? When you gonna call Alice back? He calls her Jane, but her name's Alice. But like we're actually out here doing it. And so I was looking forward to this call because I have something to talk about. And I thought about what Lou said, because like, yeah, I get choked up when somebody's like, and you have to learn how to overcome that.
That's exactly right. And that's our job. That's what we need to be doing. And Dave, you said I don't have 4 listings like Matt. Put yet at the end of that. You will get them because you're doing the right things. You're having a conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have them yet, but they're coming, man. Just keep pushing.
No, I just got to keep making the calls.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Lou, what's up?
Hey, David. Can we spend, and I don't know if everybody's in agreement, but I would love to hear this, maybe a little time next week or in the coming weeks, just some time on conversations around how people position exclusive buyer broker agreements. As we're starting to move in and evolve into potentially a new world, it might be good for us to start to work on our pitches and our valuations with regards to the buyer side and getting buyer agreements signed. And I'm going to put her on the spot, and she might not like it, but I want to hear from Marilyn, because from my understanding, she does a bang up job in that world. And I would love to hear what she's got to say.
All right, Marilyn, I'm going to put my number in the chat. Please text me and I'm going to hit you up on that. We won't do it next week because I have something special for you guys next week.
Okay.
Next week on the call, I want you guys to bring everybody you know. Matt's going to go through the listing presentation, soup to nuts. If you've never seen it, seen someone go through the process from start to finish, we're going to do that on the call next week, and we're going to have an opportunity for you guys to give Matt feedback. What I'm looking for, my favorite seller, Harriet, I don't know if she's going to be available. In case she's not available, I need one person who knows how to be a realistic seller, someone who's been on listing presentations before and knows how to be a seller to volunteer to be the seller for Matt. If that's you, send me a message and say, I'll volunteer to be the seller. I have someone in mind. I just don't know if they're going to be available. Haza is normally my go-to person. So if she's not available, I want a backup person. Please text me and let me know if you'd be open to be the backup person. Oh, now see, I would go with David, but David and Matt, they role play together. I want to switch it up a little bit. I don't want to make it comfortable for Matt. I want to have somebody else because they already role play. But Jamila, I hear you on that. I think that would be fantastic, but I want somebody else. Berlin. Okay, V. Thank you, V. I appreciate you. All right, guys. So let me say this as I let you guys go. We hit a milestone today. At the top, we had 76 people at the highest number. My goal is to get it to 100. Let me ask you